few minutes before 6 p.m., we responded to the Oakridge Mall. We received several calls of a shooting taking place within the mall. I understand there was dozens, if not a couple of hundred calls from people in the mall reporting the shooting. Along with those calls reporting the shooting, several people were reporting that there was a person shot in the mall. From the time we got the initial call at 5:48, our first officers were on scene within 2 minutes. Although we weren't sure that this was an active shooter or not, that's how we treated it. Officers quickly formulated a plan and went into the mall to ascertain what was occurring. We did not locate any shooting victims. However, we did locate evidence of a shooting near a store called Forever 21 on the interior side of the mall. Numerous other resources began to arrive. We still did not know if there was an active shooter. I'm going to add that when the officers went in, they did report that they did not hear active gunfire coming from inside of the mall. That does not mean that something could have started while they were in there. Needless to say, we were preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. Along with multiple teams of our officers that went into the mall, we also got a lot of assistance from the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, as well as the California Highway Patrol. Besides them, we had numerous first responders staging, waiting to deploy into the mall just in case we did find victims. Among those were the San Jose Fire Department and the Santa Clara County Office of Emergency Services. The search took a long time. We had people shelter in place. We were keeping everybody updated via our social media to please shelter in place. We will come find you. The search took several hours. We were not sure if there was still a suspect or a victim within the mall. Many of you were out there last night. You guys know that search took, I believe, upwards of close to 5 hours. We did not locate a suspect. We still have not contacted a victim. The other thing we want to share with the public is if somebody has information, if there's a victim out there, we would like to talk to you. We still have investigators going out to the mall today, conducting some follow-up investigation. We spoke to mall management this morning. They relayed to us it's business as usual for them. The stores are back open. Again, business as usual at the mall. One thing I really want to emphasize is when we were out at the scene, I saw a lot of officers that normally work during the day. I asked several of them, are you working overtime? Did you get held over? We had many officers that were walking out of this very building when this call came out. They quickly turned around, jumped in a police car, and headed to Oakridge Mall. Right? We treated it like an active shooter. So I'm very proud of the actions, not just of patrol officers, supervisors, and some of our command staff that were actually driving home that diverted to the mall to deal with this issue. So tremendous response. Thank you very much for the assistance from the Sheriff's Office again, the Highway Patrol, and the Fire Department and the Santa Clara County Office of Emergency Services. It was ready to deploy. Again, I'm going to emphasize we were preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
What does surveillance video show?
That's part of the investigation right now. As soon as we're ready to share that, we certainly will.
To give you information on a suspect or a description?
Again, part of the investigation, we will release that information when we're ready. We did locate evidence of a shooting that took place within the mall.
Any blood, like from a victim?
Part of the investigation.
How many shell casings, Sergeant? What caliber? And are we lucky that nobody was hit?
Absolutely lucky that nobody was hit. Again, speaking to mall management this morning, there was upwards of 5,000 people in the mall yesterday when this happened. We're very lucky an innocent bystander did not get hit. We're not going to talk about caliber or amount of casings located within the mall.
But you did find some casings.
There was some evidence, yes, of a shooting that occurred right outside of the Forever 21 store.
And again, you reported that there was a victim because that's how the calls came.
Multiple calls of a person being shot, right? And unfortunately, we did put out that information that ended up not being accurate, but that's what we had to go with at the time. I mean, if it's one person, but when there's multiple people, I believe over 10 reporting that there's a person shot, I mean, that's what we would believe at the time, and that's how we treated it.
Were chains involved?
I'm sorry?
Chains? Were chains involved?
Chains?
Fight? The chains?
I do know there was an altercation between two different people. People described it as it was a fight. There was lots of yelling. One of those people produced a firearm and fired several rounds.
The ages of the people in the fight.
I don't have that info, Jesse.
Can't release a caliber or casings, but nonetheless, does that help you find who you're looking for?
Again, part of the investigation, we're not going to put out those details yet. Again, we'll re-emphasize, there was a shooting in the mall. We want to talk to anyone that was involved with it, including the victim.
You said there were 5,000 people in the mall. How mathematically fortunate are we that nobody was hit?
I don't know if you can put a figure on that. I mean, we all know it's Christmas time, lots of people out shopping. It's a Monday night, kids are out of school, and we had a lot to deal with. It was a very, very chaotic situation for these officers to go into, right? Again, very, very proud of the job that those officers did that responded, very proud of the people that were leaving this facility, and instead of going home to their families, they turned around, jumped in a police car, and went to Oakridge Mall. I mean, everyone knows about our staffing issues here in San Jose, but when the time comes and people call us, we are there.
Do you think that the two people that were in the fight, the two suspects, do you think maybe they blended in with the crowd that was evacuating?
Yeah, it's all speculation, Jesse. I don't know. Again, very chaotic scene. 5,000 people. If you can imagine being in the mall and hearing gunshots, what that's going to sound like. It was complete pandemonium. There was chaos. Again, very active situation that our officers went into. Again, very, very fortunate. You're absolutely right that 5,000 people in there shopping, nobody took a round. So very, very lucky.
You said you spoke with mall management. We heard some reports of looting. Is that accurate? Did they speak to that?
You know, I haven't heard that yet, nor have we gotten those reports.
You said that it was business as usual at the mall today. I guess my question is, should it be? There was nothing that stopped this person from bringing a gun into the mall yesterday. Is there anything being done differently to perhaps prevent someone from bringing a gun into a mall?
You know, that's a better question to be answered by mall management.
Are you going to have increased police presence at the mall?
It's Christmas time. You know, we all know about the retail crime incidents that are occurring. All of our malls in San Jose have been routinely patrol checked. We are aware. You guys are familiar with the event that just happened at the same mall on Saturday night, right? We're all on a little bit heightened sense of awareness. Our officers working patrol are routinely spot checking these malls. Saturday night, we were there within minutes of that incident being reported. Yesterday, within 2 minutes, we had officers going into that mall. So, I mean, we're ready to respond as these incidents arise.
So this was not a random shooting?
This was an isolated incident. After the investigation, it was not an active shooter by definition. It was an isolated incident between two individuals. One individual produced a handgun and fired several rounds.
How would you describe this act of violence?
Very worrisome. It's a crowded mall, right? I mean, common sense. Very, very lucky an innocent bystander did not get shot last night.
Is there anything that you can tell us about who you're looking for? Age, gender, race, description, anything?
Our detectives are actively working this investigation. As soon as we can release some details on that, we will do that and certainly ask for the public's help. 5,000 people, somebody saw something, somebody knows something, but right now we're going to let detectives do their work and hopefully quickly identify and locate the suspects responsible for this incident last night.
Do you envision any of the security camera video being released at some point today, or do you think that's going to come a little bit later?
You know, I don't know. It depends on how this investigation goes. As with any high-profile incident, as soon as we can, we will release that. I mean, this just happened less than 24 hours ago. We'll release it when we can. Okay, we're going to wrap that one up. Steve will give you guys a little bit of sound if you need it for South 7.